awesome to the max.
Hey guys, Pokewubs here, and I guess I'm starting a new series called Reading with Pokewubs, or Pokewubs Reads. Anyway, I would like this series videos to go between 10 to 15 minutes, if not a little bit longer, or a little bit shorter. I don't want to get like really long videos, and my main purpose for these things, this kind of series, I guess, is just like playing it, minimizing it, and just listening to it, I guess, so you can, get with it. If you want to see me do some weird movements, I possibly will. And by the way, this thing right there is the Sunday Night Football game, so ignore that. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, for the first book, I guess it's my book I wrote in 8th grade, some in 9th, I think a little bit in 10th, I don't know. I called it The Hybrid. Now, remember, I was only 12, 13, 14 when I was writing it, and majority of it was written when I was 13 years old, and I was really stupid when it comes to English when I was 13 years old. So I guess I'll begin reading right now. Prepare yourselves. Okay, The Hybrid, Chapter 1 by Pokewubs. Look at that. It's faded. There you go. Handwriting. It hasn't changed, by the way. Okay. 16 years ago, a married couple had a baby. But this baby was not an ordinary baby, though. I'm reading it like how it was written, so you can really get a grasp of how bad it was. This baby was born with wolf ears and a wolf tail. This baby was a hybrid. It is said that hybrids are born every 2,000 years. The couple named their baby boy Brian Takiyatsuki. Oh yeah, let me say something here. When I was in 8th grade, I was really into the Japanese culture type thing. I like Japanese last names. I still kind of do because they're pretty awesome sounding. And I really do love wolves, and I still do. So yeah. Oh yeah, I also like. I guess I'm also like half animal, half people type thing. I thought it was a really cool thing. So, paragraph 2. Through Brian's life, he was always treated as the outcast, but Brian is 16 now and is attending Silver Mist Academy. Oh, wow. Oh, just a year ago. A few months ago, actually. I was 16. SMA is the kind of academy that the students sleep at. Man, I'm stupid. When Brian arrived at SMA, everybody already there stared at him. One of the new students was staring at Brian particularly. This student's name was Matthew Doty. Doty, okay. The school bully. Matthew approached Brian. So who are you? Matthew asked. My name is Brian Takiyatsuki. Ooh, it's a little intense now. Brian told Matthew. After Brian told Matthew his name, Matthew pushed him down and said, "You better watch yourself or else something bad will happen to you." Ooh, Miss Matthew sounds like a really jerk. Now that the actual assignment from 8th grade is over, back to the book itself. Brian got up after Matthew pushed him down. Brian then began picking his stuff back up. While Brian was doing this, everyone entered the academy except for one kid. This kid walked over to Brian and helped him pick his stuff back up. "Thank you," Brian said. "I'm Brian Takiyatsuki," Brian said to the boy. "I'm Dennis Bachi." "Nice to meet you, Brian," Dennis said with a smile. My now really educated English self wants to kind of slap my old self in the back of the head, saying maybe, "What are you thinking?" Or maybe you could have had a V8. I don't know. Both Brian and Dennis walked to the main office to get their dorm number. "Your names, please," said the lady at the desk. "I'm Brian Takiyatsuki." Okay, apparently I've written this 10 times already. I'm only in the 4th paragraph. This is really bad. Brian told the lady, "I'm Dennis Bachi." Dennis told the lady after Brian. Okay, both of you are in dorm B1. Oh, we have hyphens in there. Also, you two have another roommate named Ayame Bachi. The lady at front desk. The lady at front desk told them. Thank you, Brian said happily, leaving the office with Dennis, walking beside Brian. Ooh, so Dennis is Ayame your sister? Brian asked curiously. Yes, and she's the prettiest girl in my family. Okay, apparently I'm setting this guy up or something. I don't know. Dennis said while getting a picture of Ayame out of his wallet. This is her, he said, while handing Brian the picture of Ayame. Wow, Dennis, she's beautiful. How does she have red hair and you don't have red hair? Brian said, giving the picture of Ayame back to Dennis. No one in my family knows why Ayame has red hair. This is getting... What? I don't know. Brian and Dennis found Dorm B and entered. Dorm B was huge, even though there were 4 rooms in it. Brian and Dennis entered room 1. They entered into a large living room, which had three doors leading to the bedrooms, a large porch, listen to this, an Olympic-sized pool, a kitchen, a game room, and bathrooms in the bedrooms, and the living room. What? Brian and Dennis were speechless at the size of their dorm room. Brian closed the door while Dennis walked into the bedroom that had a light on. Hey, sis, Dennis said after entering the bedroom. Hey, Dennis, the girl said to Dennis while running to hug Dennis. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. Ayame, I want you to meet someone. Okay, Dennis and Ayame re-entered the living room. Brian, this is my sister Ayame. Ayame, this is my new friend Brian. Dennis said, introducing them. Nice to meet you, Brian, Ayame said, looking at Brian's wolf ears and tail. Nice to meet you too, Ayame, Brian said nervously. Brian, why do you have wolf ears? Why do you have a wolf tail and wolf ears? Ayame curiously asked Brian. Oh, now I'm flipping it up a little bit there. Oh my gosh. I don't really know, but I hear something about me being a hybrid which occurs every 2,000 years, Brian said. Brian said what he thought. Suddenly, another kid entered Dennis's, Ayame's, and Brian's room. Then the kid was Matthew Doty. Ooh, Matthew Doty, who apparently came to see Ayame. Well, if it isn't Brian Takayaki. What did I tell you? Matthew said, trying to intimidate Brian. This is my dorm, Matthew, so why don't you leave me alone? Brian said, not intimidated. That's it, now you've done it, Matthew said, about to punch Brian. Matt, stop! Ayame yelled at Matthew. Fine, Matthew said, putting his fist down. I'll leave, but I'll see you later, Ayame, Matthew said, leaving. So apparently this Matthew guy is really a jerk right now. After Matthew left, Dennis went to unpack. Is something between Matthew and you, Brian? Ayame asked. Not really, he just hates me. Brian told Ayame. Oh, well, don't worry about him, Ayame said. I want Ayame. I'm gonna go look around the school, Brian told Ayame. Okay, Brian, Ayame said as Brian left the dorm room. Matthew was unknowingly hiding by the door to dorm B. Brian walked out the door and saw Matthew. I thought you left, Brian said. I was waiting for you to come out from your dorm so I can beat you to the ground without any preventions. Oh. This is about to get real. But Matthew told Brian. Is that so? Brian said, then growled. Matthew suddenly came at Brian with flaring fists. Brian tried dodging, but got punched in the face and stomach. Brian's face was bleeding a little bit. Bleeding a little. I didn't say a bit. The crowd started building around the fight. Some of the students were betting for who would win, but everyone thought Brian was going to win. Not Brian. I've read Brian so many times, now it's like, every time I see a name, it just becomes Brian. Ugh. But everyone thought Matthew was going to win. Brian suddenly caught one of Matthew's fists. Don't doubt me for my size, Brian growled. Brian then punched Matthew in his face. The crowd around the fight were speechless that Matthew was punched, which had never happened before to Matthew. Ooh! Brian started to gain momentum. Brian began punching back, but Matthew was dodging every punch. Matthew then kneed Brian in the stomach, which made Brian cough up blood. Whoop-de-doo here. Brian fell to the ground. Don't talk to Ayame ever again, or else I might have to dig your grave. Ooh, tricky moves. A kid suddenly came to help Brian. Get up. Do you need help? The kid said. No, thank you, Brian. Brian said, getting up. I'm Shane Michiro. Shane told Brian, I'm Brian Takeyashi. Nice to meet you, Shane. Shane. Rick. Brian said, coughing up blood. What's wrong with these pages? A little more blood, excuse me. Okay. I guess I'll just finish this and then we'll end the video. Since it was dark, Brian went back to his room to sleep. While Brian was going to his room, he hid his injuries from the fight that he had against Matthew. At the entrance, 3 girls whom were triplets were dropped off. They went to their dorm, which was B room 2. So, a lot of bad grammar and a lot of bad English in there. Well, but my handwriting isn't really different, so like my handwriting hasn't changed that much. So apparently, okay, recap. Okay, here's a little recap. Okay, so we got the main character is Brian Kakiyaksi. Apparently he is a hybrid who has wolf ears and a wolf tail. Apparently he's at a new school called Silver Mist Academy, which I guess sounds like it just started accepting them because apparently everyone else is a normal person like me. And apparently he already has an enemy named Matthew Doty, and he's already been in a fight, lost apparently really bad. But he punched the kid in the face for the first time in the kid's life. So, and he's in room B1. He's in dorm B, but room 1. And apparently he already has a friend named Dennis Bocci, and apparently his sister lives in their dorm room, which I get Ayame Bocci, which I guess means the dorm is co-ed. But what it looks at, apparently what I wrote, this is a very fancy dorm. Oh my gosh, Olympic-sized pool game room, jeez. And Ryan, the character, just met a kid named Shane Michiro, which I guess he introduced. I think I was introducing a new character then. And I guess to end the little chapter, we get introduced to 3 new characters who apparently are triplets, but we don't know who they are yet. So I guess that's episode 1 of Pokewubs Reads. Oh, Max! Hey, buddy, what are you doing? Max, come here, buddy, come here! Look at my doggy! Hey, Max! Hey, Max, look, say hi to the Pokewebbers. Say hi to the Webbers and Webbets, come on, buddy. Oh, you're lazy. Anyway, I guess that's it for episode 1 of Pokewubs Reads. I guess the hybrid. So, until then, guys, please have a very wub-filled day. Go ahead, you can give a wubbable like, and you know what? Press that subscribe button. It don't hurt anyone that I know of. Maybe it hurts your finger if you click it too hard. I don't know, but as long as if you don't have finger cramps, go ahead and click that button because I love you. Heart. No, cramp's not right. Well, that's really crappy heart. From this angle, it's a good heart. Like it's a good heart from this angle, but but not from that angle. Anyway, guys, thank you and have a very wonderful day, and see you next time. Bye, guys.